Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just under 5 months away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, I really do believe that a large thing here that really is the driving force of the hype of this movie is not just the fact that Palpatine is coming back and will be portrayed by Ian McDiarmid, but also George Lucas was heavily involved with the writing process of Episode 9, especially during the rewrites of the movie in late 2018, just last year. Now, what's really exciting about all of this is that these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the big plans by George Lucas and J.J. Abrams, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that it's described that during the rewrites of November and December of 2018 for this film, is that George Lucas was significantly involved in the writing process of the film. It's described that George played a large role in the adjustment of the second and third acts of the movie. It's described that in December of just last year, George wrote a scene that would be a part of reshoots that is said to be part of the flash fights, where George wrote in a scene involving both Rey and Kylo Ren fighting in a lightsaber duel on a familiar world. That world is said to be Yavin 4. The sequence that George developed involves a moment where both Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting on top of the iconic Massassi Temple on Yavin 4, as seen in Star Wars A New Hope and Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, where Kylo Ren and Rey are said to exchange powerful strikes with their lightsabers on top of the temple, as it's all during twilight, which gives the sky a very saturated look during the shot. It's described that this scene is currently planned for reshoots during September, and that it will be one of the major pieces of the flash fights that were chosen by George Lucas. One of the moments even involves Rey hanging on the edge of the Massassi Temple, with Kylo Ren sticking his hand out asking her to join him again. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because we do know that George Lucas is digging into a lot of his original ideas that he had for his very own sequel trilogy, as well as new ideas that really came to light in his mind while he was rewriting this actual movie with J.J. Abrams and Chris. So this specific moment is by far, I believe, the stronger point of the flash fights. Fighting on Yavin 4, I mean, I don't think you can really get any better than that, aside from Mustafar and Tatooine, etc. Yavin 4 is such an iconic location in the Skywalker saga that everybody knows exactly where it is. The Massassi temples are so iconic to the Star Wars fans around the world that this was a great decision by George Lucas to add this into the mix for both Rey and Kylo Ren to fight on top of the Massassi temple, exchanging powerful strikes with their lightsabers one by one, leading to a very big moment where Rey is hanging on the edge of the Massassi temple, where Kylo Ren is standing above her, sticking his hand out, where he is actually asking Rey to join him once more. So what I love about that is that that in itself is a little bit of a parallel of what happened between both Vader and Luke in The Empire Strikes Back, where Luke is down on the ground and we have Darth Vader essentially asking Luke to join him. In this scenario, we got a very similar experience between both Rey and Kylo Ren, especially for the audience. So what's really exciting about this is that George Lucas really seems like he helped greatly with J.J. Abrams in order to add in a lot of callbacks to the original trilogy and to the prequel trilogy era. Aside from Mustafar being in the flash fights, Yavin 4 I think is a beautiful choice, because this is said to actually be a shot that's going to be made different. And what I mean by being made different is that it's actually said to be done at a different point in time during the day. It's said to be based in twilight, which is going to make the sky very saturated and have a nice color to it as both Rey and Kylo Ren fight near darkness. Now, what's great about this is that we do know that Episode 9 is going to have a lot of references and callbacks just like this during the flash fights. I honestly think it's an excellent idea, the flash fights. I know a lot of you guys out there have mixed reactions on the flash fights, which is okay. Everybody has their own opinion. But the thing here is this, it's all a matter of execution, right? It's all a matter of how this is going to be utilized and organized in the movie. It has to be done perfectly where it actually comes across as if it's doable in the Star Wars franchise and to the point where it's going to resonate with Star Wars fans around the world. In which I think if done properly, it really will. I think it will mark itself down easily as the best lightsaber tool in the sequel trilogy at the very least. We do know that J.J. Abrams is trying his very best to top the Anakin versus Obi-Wan duel from Episode 3, which honestly I think may or may not be impossible. Kind of leaning toward it being more impossible to beat that lightsaber duel only because of the stakes. You do know that Anakin is turning at that very point in time. But I move on. You know, the one thing that I do want to touch on here is that George Lucas, he really poured his heart and soul into the rewrites of this movie in order to really get things right with JJ and Chris Terrio. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.